Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with yet another video of the Arizona Sports Fan. Thank you so very much for tuning in, guys. I really do appreciate it. Now, today, we're going to go ahead and have two topics. Now, one topic is going to be talking about how I feel about the Arizona Cardinals going to Mexico and playing one of their home games. And the second topic is going to be a topic that we don't really talk about much on this channel, and it's the possibility of the Arizona Cardinals trading back to acquire more picks in the NFL draft, guys. Let's go ahead and roll that intro. Welcome back, guys. Now, like I mentioned before in my intro, we have two topics that we're going to go ahead and cover. One of the topics is going to be how I feel about the Arizona Cardinals going to Mexico and playing one of their home games, because word came down on Friday that the Arizona Cardinals was chosen out of all the teams in the NFL is going to be one of the teams that's going to be playing in Mexico. Now, the only downfall to this situation is going to be the matter of the fact that Arizona Cardinals lose a home game. Now, if you're a season ticket holder, if you enjoy going to the games, I mean, obviously fans love to go to the games here at home. It's supposed to be home field advantage. But if you love all those different perks, we're pretty much kind of getting one game taken away from the Arizona fans who kind of don't want to go anywhere, and they like to stay home and go to State Farm Stadium. So you got to take that into consideration here. Am I happy about it? I honestly think it's a cool idea, pretty much. I like the international games. I think it's cool that the NFL is getting more exposure out there. It's so crazy to think that we have fans of the Arizona Cardinals, and not just the Arizona Cardinals, but like other teams outside of the United States. Now, we all know that football is an American sport. What we all know and love to be football every Sunday. Now, football is obviously a different terminology outside the United States. It's considered soccer. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and talk about, who's right and who's wrong. That's not what this conversation is about. But of the idea that the Arizona Cardinals is actually going out and, playing a game in Mexico just because it gives the Arizona Cardinals more exposure, gives a different country a different form of, a different sense of why here in America we love football so much. Mexico is pretty much like a 3-4 hour road trip, really depending on where you want to go. But I think that the Arizona Cardinals are playing a little bit deeper into Mexico, so it'd be a little bit more of a road trip if you considered going to Mexico to watch the Arizona Cardinals play. Now, we don't know the opponent of the Arizona Cardinals, but once I get that information, I'll definitely be able to go ahead and share that with you, as well as, I would be able to tell you what date it is once the information comes down. So just go ahead and stay tuned to this YouTube channel, guys. If you have not already, please consider subscribing, and yeah, leave this video a like. I would really appreciate it, guys. Now, switching over topics, guys, I wanted to talk about the possibility of the Arizona Cardinals moving back, and what two teams I feel like would really benefit the Arizona Cardinals for moving back with, and possibly getting more draft capital for the 2020 NFL draft. Now, we all know that we have multiple holes in this Arizona Cardinals team, so to get more draft capital will definitely be just a plus. Now, two teams that I feel like would be a really good opportunity for the Arizona Cardinals to execute here is going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars picking at number 9. Now, I only think that the Jacksonville Jaguars will do something like this if they have a player on the board when the Arizona Cardinals is on the board, and they absolutely 100% think that this player is going to be the end-all be-all player, possibly Isaiah Simmons. Now, would you guys give up Isaiah Simmons for the Jacksonville Jaguars if they wanted to get traded up? If they wanted to go to the 8th spot, we get moved to the 9th. Jacksonville Jaguars gave us our overall pick and possibly a 3rd or 4th for this year. Would you guys do that for Isaiah Simmons, getting more draft capital for Arizona Cardinals? That's definitely something to think about. Now, Jacksonville Jaguars, I feel like it's going to be a long reach. They have to really love a player, and I don't know. I feel like getting a lot of draft capital for the Arizona Cardinals and Jacksonville Jaguars to kind of make a deal, I feel like it'd just be kind of a stretch, but that would be a really heck of a deal for the Arizona Cardinals to pull off if that did happen. But a team that I really do think is a possibility that this can possibly happen is getting traded back with the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, the Las Vegas Raiders is picking number 12 in the NFL draft. Now, that's only 4 spots back. Now, the only way I feel like the Raiders will possibly get wanting to get the 8th spot is if they want to go ahead and get their quarterback of the future. Now, we all know that Derek Carr has been flirting around with different teams via Twitter. There's that whole thing that went on when he was, shaking hands with Khalil Mack, maybe indicating that he wanted to get moved over to the Chicago Bears. So, and if the Raiders do not, succeed in free agency, like if they don't get a quarterback and Derek Carr gets moved on, want to move into that Arizona Cardinals spot to get their quarterback of the future. Who knows? Maybe Herbert, maybe even that quarterback that they're talking about now. I believe his last name is Love. I don't really know too much about the guy. I'm not going to go ahead and lie here, but anything will benefit the Arizona Cardinals, because let's think of a scenario here where the Las Vegas Raiders calls Steve Keim and says, I want to get your 8th overall pick. We'll give you our 12th. We'll give you our 19th pick and a 3rd round pick this year. Or maybe even possible if we swept that 3rd round pick with a 2nd for next year. Just thinking of the different possibilities of picking up draft capital for the Arizona Cardinals, because we have so much holes in this team, would be amazing. And I just feel like that would be a really cool opportunity. And how awesome would it be if we do get traded back to the Raiders and we still pick up the wide receiver that we want, CeeDee Lamb, and for that 19th pick, we get Kenneth Murray. Be probably the dream scenario where Las Vegas Raiders calls us up, we get moved to number 12, we still get CeeDee Lamb, and we go ahead and pick up the linebacker that is probably the 2nd best behind Isaiah Simmons. Now, we also got to go ahead and take into consideration that getting more draft capital in this draft means more players that we can build around for this NFL draft, guys. Now, this comes down to the point of, are you willing to trade back to possibly lose out in Isaiah Simmons, possibly lose out in Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, probably one of the best offensive tackles, whoever you think the best offensive tackle is? Are you willing to give up that opportunity? Now, it's all going to come down to once the Arizona Cardinals is on the clock. Now, I do feel like the Raiders are going to be a lot more feasible to happen than the Jacksonville Jaguars, because I feel like the Raiders and the Cardinals, front offices, they love calling each other. I don't know what it is about them, but they make deals all the time. And the Arizona Cardinals always gets the better end of the deal all the time. So I'm all up for Las Vegas Raiders calling us and saying, hey, let me get that 8th overall pick. We move you over to 12, as well as you take our 19th overall pick and possibly other picks in this draft, or maybe a pick next year, a very high pick next year. I will be keeping those phone lines very, very open, because I love the idea of getting CeeDee Lamb at 12 and number 19th, Kenneth Murray. Or even a top offensive tackle. What if Tristan Wirfs falls that far? What if AJ Epinesa falls that far? I just want to get the best possible scenario for the Arizona Cardinals. We need to build this team starting now. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, we have the holes for days in this team, whether it's offensively or defensively. Everything needs to happen correctly, and I just hope that Steve Keim can pull the trigger and make the deal that makes him our general manager. I mean, He's disappointed us plenty of times. Let me let you know that right now. He has disappointed us plenty of times. So we'll see how it comes down to, guys. But that is all I got for this episode. I wanted you guys to really think about this possible idea and what can happen in the draft, and how it can so much flip it on your ear and really think about all the things that can happen. Let me know if you're up for it. Put it in the comments below. If you're not a problem. You can put that in the comments below. Leave a like for the channel. It helps the channel grow. You and love Arizona sports and the Arizona Cardinals. This is going to be your #1 stop shop for everything free agency for the Arizona Cardinals, as well as the NFL draft. I will be going to the NFL draft. I possibly might be doing a live stream over there, so you might be able to get that 8th overall pick just a little earlier, because you'll be watching it on TV, and I'm going to do a live stream, guys. That's all I got for this episode. Thank you so very much. I'm out.